Hello guys, so we're on our way to Raising Cane's because we're gonna go and look at how many calories are in some chicken fingers because we're gonna make them. Chicken fingers 130 calories per finger and sauce is 190 calories per little sauce. So can I please get the 4 finger? All right guys, bag secured. And we're back. We have our canes. You'll notice is we're down to 3 fingers because cameraman got hungry along the way. But per tender, 130 calories, not terrible. Per cane sauce, 40 ml, 190 calories. And I'm going to reproduce this meal, Texas favorite, and I'm gonna get this down to 90 calories per tender and an incredible 28 calories. Now, it's not gonna taste exactly the same. I have to warn you guys up front, but damn, it's close. Did I mention high protein? So let's get to it and let's get cooking. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is start with our dry mix. Now, usually with fried chicken, what you're gonna do is you're gonna dip it in flour. You can do a lower calorie option using almond flour. Usually you use all-purpose flour, but today we're gonna do something very different, and that is cornstarch. Now cornstarch, we're just gonna dust it with cornstarch, and this is gonna make it really nice and crispy and save us a bunch of calories. So I'm gonna measure in 100 grams of cornstarch. It's probably much more than we need, but rather too much than too little. Really would help if I turn the scale on. That's more than enough cornstarch. And we're gonna start adding our spices. So we're gonna add 1 teaspoon of paprika. This is just gonna give it that beautiful, vibrant color and that really nice, like smoky paprika taste. Love that. We're gonna add 1 full teaspoon of garlic salt or garlic powder. It's quite a bit of garlic, but I personally just love garlic. And then we're gonna add a pinch of salt. Okay, I had to ground up some salt. Okay, a little bit more for good luck. Not that my recipe needs it. And then I need half a teaspoon of black pepper. So I'm not gonna measure out half a teaspoon. I'm gonna kind of try and eyeball this one. But what I can say is that one thing that you cannot do wrong in this recipe is add too much black pepper to the mix. Please don't send me pictures on Instagram of a pound of black pepper. That's not what I mean. I know you guys might take that a little bit too literally, but that's what it looks like pre-mix. And I actually bought these really cool little whiskers. It's a little whisk set, and we're just gonna give that a nice little whisk. And no, this is not my dog's food bowl, I promise. Doesn't look like much right now, but you can see nice vibrant color in there. Anyway, we're gonna put that aside and we're gonna move on to our egg wash. All right, this is our egg wash bowl. Now, again, this is a high protein, low calorie option of Cane's. What you're supposed to do is use 2 whole eggs, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use 4 egg whites. Now what that's gonna do is it's gonna save us about 50 calories per egg because we're not including the yolk. And it's gonna have the same binding ability using the egg whites as opposed to using the whole egg. So we're gonna crack those and separate my eggs. Separate the eggs. We have our powder mix, we have our egg wash. So the last thing in terms of our little production line here is the actual coating itself. Now, you can use breadcrumbs. Typically, people use breadcrumbs, or more recently, there's been this trend of using cornflakes, or even like tortilla chips, Doritos, protein chips. You can try all of the above, but what I found to be the lowest calorie option that I could think of that should give us this really, really nice crisp and not have like too thick little flaky pieces, puffed rice. Otherwise known as Rice Krispies. And I don't have the brand name. I got like HEB crispy rice, right? No royalties paid on this one, but that's totally fine because it was a whole lot cheaper. And we're not gonna use all of it, but I'm gonna just weigh out 100 grams here so we have that in our bowl. These things are really light, so we're actually going to get a little bit too much bang for our buck if we go with 100. So you could do another method, which is using a pin roller, put it in a Ziploc bag. I went straight for the bowl, and this is actually working really well. I've just taken a glass tumbler, drinking glass, and kind of just crushing it, making it a little bit finer. I'm going to show you guys the end result in a second, because it still is, there's still some sizable pieces in there. So you can actually see how this is all starting to come together. Right, last but not least, what would chicken tenders be without some chicken tenders? Right, now you can use chicken breast. I prefer to use chicken tenders, right? They're just a little bit more convenient. All right. We have our tenderloin and we have our production process set up here. Oh, fuck, that was a bit aggressive. I swear that wasn't intended. Okay, so this will first go into the cornstarch. Immediately it becomes dry as chalk, right? So then we're gonna have to go follow that through and get that into our egg wash. Bring it straight over to the Rice Krispies, the puffed rice, and give that a nice little soaking in there. Okay, and he is crumbed or breaded very well. You guys see that? And you just know that's going to be so crispy and that's going to be so tasty. Like, there's no questions about it. So for this recipe, you can do 4. So we can do 4 tenders. So I'm just going to get all 4. Honestly, I have enough here, so I'm going to probably try and pull off 8. The difference is 6 pieces in a cognac combo, and typically that does come with toast. I understand, typically that does come with sauce, but I mean, you're a hungry guy, you're going to the gym, post-workout meal, you're gonna wanna get some calories in. I don't know many gym bros that's doing less than at least 5 fingers. So if you're on a bulk, you're gonna hit 5 or 6 fingers, you got your cognac combo, and before you know it, you've consumed 2,800 calories. And there's your calories for the day. So I'm gonna finish off the rest of my tenders, and then let's get started with cooking them. All right, guys, and there you have it. 10 tenderloins ready to get cooked. I've made one gigantic mess. I'm gonna start cleaning this mess up. I'm gonna bring the air fryer over here. I'm gonna cook it right here in front of you guys. All right, so we're ready to go into the air fryer. Air fryer is set up behind me. I'm gonna set it up. Usually what I do is like preheat in 15 minutes, or I don't preheat and I just do 20 minutes at 400. So what we're gonna do is give a very light greasing or oiling, just to oil up that bad boy. I could probably fit comfortably, probably about 5 or 6 in here. We've placed them in, and the last thing you want to do is just give it like a very light dusting of oil. I don't know if we can even call this dusting of oil, but very light spritz of oil. I use olive oil, by the way, and I got this really cute like bottle. You can spray it on, and you can even just pour it like out the spout. This was off Amazon, couple of bucks. Very cool, just decant your olive oil into that. All right, we are done, we're ready. We're gonna put in the first batch into the air fryer. This will run for about 20 minutes, during which we're gonna start making the sauce. All right, so this is where the real magic happens. At the end of the day, Cane's, Lane's, it's fried chicken, all right? It's good fried chicken, but it's nothing without the sauce. So let's make some magic. 355. Next wet ingredient. I went for a low calorie ketchup option. They had like a 50% less, and then they had a no sugar added. Obviously you can see I went to Kroger. I'm not associated or sponsored. I don't have a Kroger code. You can use code Noel at checkout at Kroger. But yeah, no sugar added, so this will be the lower calorie option that we have. This is their light version. And we're going to do 170 grams. I'm gonna tara that out. 80, 90, okay, 104, 135, 150, 165. 174, close enough. And then we're gonna add 45 grams of Worcestershire sauce, or as other guy said, wash your sister sauce. But in South Africa, I mean, we call it Worcester sauce, which is actually a little bit easier to pronounce. So Worcester, whatever, just Worcester, right? Easy enough. I think we need to shake it. Top of the scale once again, and we're gonna go with 40, 10, 12, 13, 17, 23, 25, 26, 45. Beautiful. Once again, we're adding garlic. This time, you know what? I'm not gonna do like two, I guess I don't wanna fuck up the recipe, but we're just gonna hit this with a teaspoon of garlic, all right? Yeah, close enough. Teaspoon of garlic. All right, so we just had the beep, beep, beep of the air fryer, which means I need to give it a turn because we're now sitting at 9 minutes and 16 seconds. So don't expect me to show you guys what this looks like just yet, because I'm gatekeeping that. Okay, and resume. Then we get back to our sauce, and the last thing we were doing was cracking up some pepper. I think that's enough pepper. A lot of pepper in this recipe. All right, and then, where's my new whisk? Like, I want the medium-sized one. I mean the above average sized one. Massive. It's starting to turn the color of Lane's cane sauce, which is actually quite reassuring. Color is one thing. Are we going to get it to taste like it? All right, guys, so I have made both sauces now. This little dish is made from the light mayonnaise, and the big bowl is made from the 2% Greek yogurt. So the difference here in calories, I've worked this out, per 40 ml, which is that's 40 ml, which is the usual cane's size, which is 190 calories. For the equivalent, using our Greek yogurt, would be 28 calories. The equivalent using our light mayonnaise would be 75 calories. So it's double the Greek yogurt, but it's still less than half of the original cane sauce. What is all of this if it doesn't taste anything like it? So let's do the taste test. What I did have to do is put a significant amount more pepper, and I found that adding more pepper to the Greek yogurt got it closer. So taste test. Heck, that's close. I have to tell you guys, incredible. It is a little bit yogurty, right? You do get a little bit of yogurt. I've managed to disguise it with the amount of garlic, Worcester, and pepper that I put in here. But it is still predominantly Greek yogurt. However, I would say that's largely worth the calories that you're getting. Anyway, next up, 75 calories. This is our this is our light mayonnaise. It's a little bit more tangy. I would say that probably is a little bit closer. But I'm sorry, I have to say, like, the verdict, I much prefer this. All right, guys, well, there you have it. And I could not be happier. I couldn't tell you what it tastes like. We're gonna get to the taste test, but presentation, like 9 out of 10. Just look at these. Crispy. I am absolutely delighted with how these came out. What's left to do but try them? That's a lot of sauce. Wow. I'm sure you guys heard how crispy that is. If you guys decide to try this, please drop a comment. Also tag me on Instagram. Show me your masterpiece. Always love hearing from you guys about these recipes. And yeah, if you haven't yet, please subscribe, drop a like, show some love, and many more recipes coming your way.